Welcome to Super GG Radio's Beta Breakdown, where we break down those betas we talk about every week on the Super GG Radio podcast. Today, we have Arc Raiders. I have not seen a ton of this game, but it has been a buzz all over the blue skies. So I'm very interested in this. I'm your host, Alex Arona, and with me is Pat from Gaming Fix. Hey, Pat, what's going on?
Hey, not much. I'm excited to check this game out with you.
All right, now you've just on the side, you've been playing. This is a closed beta. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was. I think you can say it at this point. The veil is off. You can stream and talk about and everything. Record video for this beta. There was also another beta earlier. I can't remember if it was late last year or in January this year, but I played in that one as well. So I've been in a couple of tech tests for this.
Okay, and you've got. So how many hours do you think you'd put in this?
First one I probably played 5 or 6. This one I probably played closer to 10, I think, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe a little less. So a fair amount. I'm not like there's people who have gotten way further than I have in it, but a good chunk. I have a pretty good understanding of it.
What would you describe this game, or how would you describe it?
So this is an extraction shooter. It's definitely trying to bridge the gap between like the super hardcore Escape from Tarkov style of extraction shooter and something that's more casual like a Call of Duty DMZ. But it's kind of focused on maintaining the stuff that makes games like Tarkov work. So it's if you haven't played extraction shooters before, they're PvPvE games typically, where you've got enemies in the environment, you've got a big open map, and you've got other players in the map as well. Kind of feels a little like a battle royale because you're dropped into the map and kind of at a different spawn point, and you're moving around the map to loot items and fight enemies and fight other players, and you can take their stuff too, and then hit an extraction point somewhere on the map before time runs out. And the kind of the big hallmark of this genre is that when you die, you lose all the stuff you're carrying because other players can loot it off of your body. So it can be a little tricky for people to get into at first because it's definitely doesn't feel great when you die and lose everything.
Yeah, of course. A little bit of the hyper realism. You really got to play for keeps. Do you wanna jump in and show me what's going on with Arc Raiders?
So before we hit play, we'll take the background on this game is it's like Earth, something happened and the surface is taken over by these robots called Arc. They're like the robot faction is called Arc. So you've got these Arc robots all over the surface that are very hostile towards humans. So people have kind of descended underground and live in these cities deep under the earth. And then raiders have to go out and search for resources and find things to kind of keep society going while also fighting the Arc. From a lore perspective, it hasn't really made it clear to me why we're also fighting each other, the raiders up there, but whatever. I think it's I am one that likes the PvP element of these games, so I think it's good here. So you have different ways you can kind of prep yourself. There's all these different vendors that will sell you all kinds of items, and then they also will give you quests. So right now the quests I have come from Apollo, and I need to destroy a fireball, which is a type of enemy, using a fireball burner, which is a type of item. And then we've also got this movie night quest to go get a film reel, a camera lens, and 3 electrical components for him.
Oh, he wants to watch some movies.
From certain spots. Exactly. Yeah. It's Arc. Everyone's been on edge, so movie night, great distraction. So that's kind of the structure of these games typically, is that there'll be a quest chain to go through that is pretty light on the narrative. They're definitely not like super story based, but they give you some goals to go out and do. And then you also will have your sort of hideout workshop area. So I have these places that I can go to craft stuff. So like in my utility bench, I can craft. If I upgrade it to level 3, I can craft a photoelectric cloak. I need these resources to level it up. I need wires, electrical components, and Hornet drivers. So these are all just different kinds of items you get in different ways. So the main kind of progression in these games, and it's true here too, is that you're going out into the world to try to find resources to complete your quests, level up your stuff, and then craft better equipment So it's kind of an endless loop of going in. So like eventually I want to be able to craft the Volcano regularly, really powerful epic shotgun. So I need to level this bench up to 3 and then find steady supplies of these components to be able to craft it.
Very Warframey.
This game, yeah, it's a lot of fun. It gives you a reason to go through the loop of getting in there, looting, fighting players and stuff. This game also has a skill tree progression, which I think is pretty cool. I won't go through the whole thing, but basically what I like about their skill tree is it gives you nice little boosts that kind of help your survival rate overall, but without making you way overpowered against other players. So like you're not getting like bonus health or anything, but things like when you're downed, you crawl faster, or while looting, there's a chance to reveal twice as many items at once. So it's nice perks that feel noticeable, but they're also not going to make it so that if you run into a level 50 player, they're just going to smoke you in the field.
Yeah.
You still have to be, it's still going to be about your gear and about your skills. And then this game also, it's going to be a pay-to-play game. Originally they announced it as free-to-play, but they somewhat recently pivoted to a paid release, which I actually think is fine because it kind of deters cheating if you have to pay to get into the game. Because if your account gets banned, then you'd have to buy another one.
Okay. Yeah.
It doesn't stop people in certain games. Tarkov, for example, still has a real cheating problem. But the reason for that with Tarkov is that there's also a lot of real money trading that happens in Tarkov.
Yes.
So I won't get into it, but I don't think this game is going to have that same problem because the way it's structured, there's less of an incentive to buy stuff from other players because you can't trade items in the same way.
Okay.
But it is going to have battle passes very similar to Helldivers, if you've seen that, where I think the plan is these are going to stick around. Obviously, none of this progress carries over from the technical test, and they just give you some of the paid currency to play around with the system.
It seems like a lot of places are doing that thing where the battle pass doesn't just go away.
Yeah, and
Marvel Rivals
very
does
similar
that
structure
as well.
to Helldivers, for sure, and similar structure to both of those, where you have this unique currency that you can spend on battle pass rewards, and so there are gameplay rewards in here, like a high end. You can get these weapons packages and stuff, but because of the way that it's structured, I don't think it's a big issue, and there's nothing that you can't get through playing the game on the gameplay side. So anyway, I will jump in. So when you head out on a run, I forget I don't think they call them raids. I guess night raid. In Tarkov they call them raids, but a run, whatever. You go to this map, there will be different effects happening. Like right now, if we go to Buried City, we get the lush blooms is happening, so there's more plants and fruits, which are typically crafting items you can use to make like special bandages and stuff. So there's lots of different events that can happen, and on timers, and then at certain points you can also do night raids where it's a little more dangerous. There's more of the ARC enemies running around, and it's obviously dark, so it's a little harder to see. You have a flashlight, but if you turn your flashlight on, it kind of lights you up too. So the night raids are fun, kind of scary, a little scarier and more tense, and those open up at certain times. So I'm gonna hit the Dam Battlegrounds, which is kind of the first one that you typically would go to.
Okay.
So then we set up a loadout. You can bring anything from your stash. My stash is actually full right now. In this game, we've got augments, which is it'll give you, like this one will give you extra backpack slots. So there's different kind of augments that kind of change your loadout capabilities. You've got shields, which are important. I just have light shields right now, but there's medium and heavy shields as well. You have to pick your weapons.
And again, if you lose it, if you die out there, you lose that weapon.
Yeah, exactly. So you really want it. Like I really like this Anvil 3. I'm probably not going to take it out for this one because I don't want to risk losing it. And then you've got ammunition. So let's see, if I take this kettle out, uses light ammo, so I probably want to take a full stack of ammo. You have this thing called your safe pocket, which is 3 slots, and I believe there's ways to expand this you'll keep the stuff in here even if you die.
Okay.
So some players might want to stick like medicine in there, ammunition, for example, in there. It's so that way you can kind of keep it safe if you die. It's also like if you find a really good piece of crafting material or loot, you might stick it in the safe pocket when you're out in the field. There's weapon mods. We've got tons of different quick use items. Keys are good because they can get you into special doors, and like the Raider Hatch key lets you extract using a Raider Hatch. So sometimes people bring those in their safe pocket, and then all of our crafting materials and stuff. So I'm going to go in with this, keep it simple. We got a gun, we've got a shield, I've got some couple bandages and some grenades.
Everything else procure on site.
One nice thing in this game that I really like, and I think is a big boon for new players, is you can do this free loadout anytime, and it'll give you a loadout probably with more stuff than this that you just spawn in with. That's like basic stuff, but it's all free. And the only catch is that you don't get a safe pocket when you use a free loadout, so you can't like go in and then like save some good loot in a pocket and die. But if you extract with the loot with a free loadout, you get to keep everything in it.
Oh, that's good.
So it's a nice way. Even if you were to burn through all of your gear, lose it all, you can always get a loadout that's at least this good by using the free loadout system.
Okay.
So it's kind of a nice way. If you also just kind of want to jump in and not risk losing some stuff, you can just hit a free loadout as well. For me, my stash is full, so I should be it's okay if I lose some stuff because I'm out of inventory slots.
Which of course probably costs real money to expand.
I don't no, not the inventory so far. It has been the in-game coins that you get from selling items and stuff. I don't know if they're going to sell real money expansions. Tarkov certainly does, but they got a lot of flack for that. I'm not sure what the plan for Arc Raiders is, if they'll put stuff like that in the battle pass or sell anything like that. Right now it's just a progression thing. When you get enough money, you can upgrade the stash to a higher size. An interesting thing about matchmaking in this game that I really like is it will automatically, if you're matchmaking solo, it will match you with other solo players. So one of the biggest problems with this genre is I matchmake into a game and I end up being up against like teams of 3, which is a problem I know that Marathon, I've heard, has, where you kind of almost need to play with other people because otherwise you're going to be at a disadvantage. This game, while it's possible to be matched with duos or trios, it will focus matchmaking so that you're only having to play with people of the same team size with you. And I've never run into a duo or a trio. I've always been with other single players.
Okay.
Which is, I think, really positive.
Well, yeah, you'd hate to be at the disadvantage.
Yep.
All right, let's see it.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is some ominous music.
Yeah, music is great.
Yeah, I like it so far.
That's my favorite. This is my favorite starting music, is that one. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, so here we are, spawned in. There's no big crazy animation, but the idea is that you're getting that tube and then it shoots you out into the world. And so we've got our map here, and like I have some stuff pinned because I'm working on some upgrades to my workshop stuff. I don't know why I have gas grenade pinned, but so like I really want to build this refiner, so I can see I need to get one more arc motion core, and this tooltip tells me that it's found in arc areas. So looking at the map, I can see an arc area over here. So I'm gonna throw down a waypoint for that and kind of make my way over there.
From what I remember seeing online, this is a very like Terminator vibe.
Yeah, sure. I think Terminator. I actually feel like Half-Life is a good. It's got kind of some. The robots kind of remind me of Half-Life kind of robots. There's a lot of different. They come in different shapes and sizes, which is fun. There aren't any that are like humanoid that I've seen so far. They're all like rolling balls or quadcopters or big kind of multi-limbed walkers or whatever.
Oh, okay.
We'll see if we see any in this house. There's apartments. There's these little guys called ticks that show up all the time. They kind of jump on your face and attack.
As they do.
But I would not say this is a scary game generally. It's definitely tense, but yeah, so I'm just kind of running around picking up some loot. You saw I got a little bit of experience points there, which is one thing that's cool. Like you get progress towards leveling up, even if even if I die, I get to keep my
Okay.
experience. So you never feel like a run is completely wasted.
What do you get
which is really
upon
nice.
leveling up?
Those skill
Right,
points.
right.
Every time you level up, you get a skill point using that tree.
So
I think it looks pretty good too. It's it's some of the textures and models for stuff are not crazy impressive, but I think they really struck a nice difference between visual fidelity and keeping it performing pretty well. Oh, see, so we got another player over
Ooh.
there. Oh boy,
they hit you hard.
he wants to.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
pushing.
I'll probably. Yep, I will probably die here because he's got a really good heavy ammo gun.
Oof. Oh.
Oh, yep, I'm down.
Wow.
Yep. So, he's got a good gun that is a couple shots. It's often the case that he doesn't even know where I went. It's funny.
Okay. See, I'm like silent here because I'm like, oh no, what's going on?
Oh, you're fine. Yeah, there is voice chat. I could have said something to him, but people are pretty good about communicating too. I've had numerous situations where I'm like, hey man, we're good, we're cool, and they'll be chill about it. But
So okay, so
but yeah, a lot of runs.
that was
That's
pretty like you were just getting some loot.
that's
Yeah,
how it goes.
that's how it goes.
Yep. So you get this nifty little map that kind of shows you what you did on the run, which is fun. And then you'll get a little look at all the stuff you pulled out. I just pulled out my ammo. This is just the
testing.
the beta. Yeah, they're asking the test question. So I'm just gonna hit it again, and we'll grab a free loadout this time just to take a look at what those look like. Oh, because my stash is full. Oh yeah, I just have to put this. Oh, I want to sell.
Okay.
Let's just get rid of this TV remote.
There you go.
There we go. But luckily, queue times are pretty quick. So even if you have a run like that ends really fast, you can get back into it pretty easily.
That's good. You don't want to be sitting there waiting for too long, or like you have to wait a match out.
Yeah, that's one of the big problems with Tarkov is that sometimes it's like because you have to remake your loadout and everything. When you die, you'll end up like spending 10 minutes between games. So if you have one that lasts 5 minutes and then one that lasts 10 minutes and then one that lasts 5 minutes, you spend more time in the menus than you do.
I remember that Tarkov is like a really to do your loadout is a lot. It's a very long step process.
Yeah, this game has much less complex loadouts. Obviously, it's just got weapon, shield, and some quick use. So like in this case, yeah, it spawned us with the same kind of gun I had last time. I think I might have had a kettle, but similar gun and just a grenade, an adrenaline shot, and a couple bandages and a shield. But this is plenty to kind of get some stuff done and get some loot. So let's go over here. This is kind of a more active area. Hopefully we'll see some arc while we're running through instead of just hitting the player right away. I like the maps a lot. It's the way the weather effects can show up is fun. That can actually have an impact because like it's harder to hear footsteps obviously when it's raining and stuff, so can kind of affect visibility too.
Do you leave footprints?
No. Not that I don't think so. No.
Because that would be wild.
I guess I had never looked before. But like those birds could alert somebody.
Yeah.
I'm not too super worried about it. So there's nice little environmental effects like that.
The dam.
I believe these giant guys can spawn in certain events.
You don't want to try to take on one of those guys.
Definitely not. Certainly not alone. You will definitely not be able to do it alone. I think the idea is when the event spawns, everybody kind of unspoken teams up against the big guy. But then, of course, it's a when do we turn
Yeah,
on
how
each
long?
other moment.
Once it's dead.
All right, so there we got some quadcopters flying around over there. Oh, there's a big walker.
Okay.
That's a big old bastion. I cannot kill those by myself. I hear some. Ooh, there's something going on in there.
The fight's popping off.
Yep. So the tricky part is that camera up there is going to start squawking.
Really? I mean,
There's a player in there. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
gonna
so you
shoot
could probably
it.
shoot it, but it's probably loud.
I can hear him walking around in there.
Is this one of those things that if you reload a clip that's still got bullets in it, those bullets are gone?
No, it's just a ammo
Because that's
number.
a thing in Tarkov, right?
Definitely. Oh yeah, Tarkov has a much more realistic ammunition simulation than this game for sure.
Oh, he's still up. You did some good
Yep.
damage. You broke past the shield at least. Ooh, wow.
Got him. He's down.
But do you think that he's the only one?
I think so, but can't be sure. But let's take a look at his stuff. He had some decent stuff here. Nothing too crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'll take it. Mostly I wanted him dead because I didn't want him to come and kill me. If I were just playing, I would probably have been like, hey, friendly,
Really?
I'm cool.
Oh.
Probably. Oh, we got a quadcopter out there.
Oh.
Oh shit. What is that?
It's intense.
Is there? I don't know if that was a player or I think it was another quad. Popping shots. I don't know where it is.
It's so much more intense when you die,
so
you lose.
since-
You know, you lose everything.
Yeah, and so like now I got some stuff, right? Like I'm not that stressed about it because this is decent stuff, but it's not gonna make or break my stash. But yeah, it's definitely more exciting than playing like no shade to it, but it's more exciting than playing something like a Destiny or whatever, where it's like,
Yeah.
whatever, dying's dying. It splits the difference nicely between like a permadeath kind of game where you, oh yeah, it's another
Told
person.
you. Not the
Yeah, you were
only
right.
one. Oh, there is. Oh. But you have the high ground.
I'm pretty hurt, though. Yeah, there's also those enemies, so what I want to try to do is get around to another exit.
Oh.
Yeah, I think there's actually a few of us
It's a
in
good
here.
slide, though. Can you refill your shield or just swap shields? That guy had a shield that you took.
No, that won't help me, but there are items that let you refill
Okay.
shields for sure.
Good. Oh, there he is. Oh, you heard him, I think. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there he is. Wow, good tracing. No,
Did I get it?
but
No,
that
I
was
didn't
good
get
bullet tracing, though.
You got me. Yep.
Punch.
Yeah. So we'll do one more and we'll take kind of just a run to the extract so you can kind of see what that looks like. But that's a good example of, I think one of the big strategies is that typically I would try not to get into a fight with the quadcopters like that. I wanted to shoot at them so you can
Oh, yeah.
see what that looks like. But usually it's like you got to keep moving. You want to like, if you kill somebody like I did, you want to like do that and then get out.
You might have alerted a bunch of people.
Because you can hear the gunshots from pretty far away. So, and one of my favorite things about this game and games of this genre, and I think this game does it better than most games that I've played in the genre, is it is the feeling that like stuff is happening around the map. You can hear fights happening from really far away. It's got great sound design, so it kind of gives you you can, if you're just kind of looking to lay low and loot, you can go, well, I don't really want to, I hear a lot of gunfire over there, I'm going to just avoid that area this time. Or if you're in looking to go fight somebody, then it tells you where they're at,
Okay.
which is fun. All right, so let's just try to get to an extract. That way, that part's pretty fun.
I mean, this all looks pretty fun to me.
Yeah, it's great. Even when you die, it doesn't feel too bad because at least you're getting experience and stuff like that. And if you, like I used a free loadout, it's not like I lost anything. It would have been nice to extract with some of that loot. But the one problem that I think this game kind of has, and I don't even know if I'd say it's a problem, but there's not that, like, one nice thing about Tarkov is, or one of the things about Tarkov is, like, you'll find a crazy kitted out gun that is like really hard to get, and you find that and then you're like, oh no, I gotta get out right now because I now have this super valuable thing. I haven't seen anything in this game yet that makes me go like, oh man, I have to get out of here because I have
I was saying, like, I was wondering when we get like stumble upon a purple,
Yeah, and you can for sure, but it's a purple that's like, oh great, I found this is also something I would be able to craft eventually. So, it's kind of, oh yeah, here's an item. You can use these guys to repair your shields. So, yeah, I just want to hit a little bit of scavenging around this arc guy. Go in here, see what we got. A locker. Obviously, this stuff is kind of tense because that makes noise.
Ooh, power rod.
So that's a power rod used to craft shields. So like that's a crafting item that is pretty good to get. You can use it to make I believe a heavy shield, which there's drawbacks, but it gives you a lot more shielding than the one that I have. But it's also not like, it doesn't have quite the same, like in Tarkov you might find, instead of finding a good crafting material like that, you might find like a piece of armor. Oh, got a little roly-poly guy.
Now, how many people are on this map?
I'm not positive. I think it's based on my playing. I think it's around like 8 to 12 maybe. Definitely not like a battle royale where there's dozens and dozens of people. It is a little more focused than that because the maps are reasonably big, but they're not enormous. Like you can run across this map in like 3-4 minutes probably. So it's not a huge map. It's closer to like a big battlefield map than it is like.
And how often are they getting reset? Because like obviously the stuff you're gonna find is only going to be in there for a certain.
Yeah. So if you notice at the top, there's a timer, and so when the timer ends, you just you have to extract before the timer ends, and then there's different times for these extraction points for them to close off. So, ooh, that's a big one. Oh no, it's just a wasp. I can kill that guy. There's ones called Rocketeers that are kind of hard to tell the difference between wasps and them. They are scary. They will destroy you with missiles. And I really love the way that the enemies like dip and dive and stuff. The quadcopters. It's just really, the combat's just super satisfying. You saw with fighting players, the way that the shields spark and pop and stuff is really cool.
Yeah, it's got a good design. And it just looks really nice.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So I called the elevator. This is one of the.
Of course, it makes a lot of noise.
So now I got to wait for it. Yep. And I got to wait for it to come. And so other players now will know too that I'm extracting.
And of course, they'll want your stuff.
Yep. In theory. So I'm kind of hanging out in these bushes. And it will also alert, like it can alert nearby AI too, like the quadcopters and stuff. They'll go like, "Oh, what's going on over there?" All right.
Okay.
So running in. This will leave in 2 minutes, but I'm gonna activate it. Boom. Oh, there's somebody.
Kill.
No, we wouldn't see how fast it goes. We wouldn't have time to
Okay.
kill each other anyway.
And
Um,
loot. And
and
loot
I've
that,
had
right?
I've had yeah, exactly. I've had times where I've been people have been like, "Hey, I just want to extract. Is it okay if I go with you?" And everybody just gets in the elevator and dances.
Of course, you got the
Um,
emotes. Yeah.
So it's pretty good. So yep. So successful short little run. Got a bunch of stuff. Got some experience points, and submit my survey. And so typically, you'd probably spend 10, 15 minutes going through a similar process, but got to hit the workshop because Scrappy the chicken has stuff for me, although I don't have room.
Oh, wow. Oh, so you have a rooster that helps
Um,
and he scavenges stuff for you?
Yeah, it's just like kind of scavenges some basic resources.
That's
over
awesome.
time. I have a dog collar to upgrade it, but I need a torn blanket, and then I
Hell
can't even
yeah.
upgrade it all the way.
This is a cool game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really like it. I'm looking forward to the release. I'm definitely going to pick it up when it comes out. I think this game has more. There's some stuff I think they should. I think finding more exciting loot in the field would be good. I think maybe they should introduce some kind of unique shields, augments, weapons that you can only find and that you can't craft. That way you can get that wow, like, oh man, I gotta extract with this. This is a rare opportunity to get it. But otherwise, I mean, the combat's super solid. The movement feels really good. The time to kill is closer to something like, yeah, the music's great. The sound design in general is awesome. The time to kill is a little closer to something like a Fortnite than a Tarkov. Obviously, that first guy kind of blew me away with those heavy shots, but that's a little more rare. Generally, the fights are a little more drawn out.
Yeah, I thought that
and
I thought that one where you got one guy, but then the other guy came up on you. I feel like that was a good sign.
Yep.
Yeah,
Perfect
because you were able to take the one guy out, but you saw the difference between hitting shields and then actually hitting flesh. And you would the second guy you actually got through his shields, but you didn't get to actually start hitting his body before he got you.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think the combat feels good. It feels like you're not just like, oh, somebody saw me first, so I died. You can fight back and stuff. The one thing I just want to see more of is how much content is there. The other maps are really cool. I did the dam a few times, but like Buried City is awesome. It's like a kind of half buried in sand little city that has tighter streets and moving from house to house and stuff. In this one, instead of having elevators, you have to go down into the underground and call the
the train
to get out. Yep. And then Spaceport is pretty cool too. It's like a big tech center, and there's this, I've never been in it, but there's this big Spaceport tower at the middle of the map, and there's like really good loot.
But of course, you got to fight your way to get there
if you make your way up. Yep, exactly. Yeah, everybody wants to go there, and then there's a bunch of fighting that happens.
And then of course night raids, right? Night raids is sick.
Yeah, night raids are really fun. I've done a couple of those. There's more enemies around. They're more alert, and obviously other players around that are going to be bringing some of their better stuff in for that too. So yeah, it's really cool, and I look forward to the expansion over time of these games is always fun too. I'm sure they'll add more maps. And
is this coming to early access?
I don't know if they're doing an early access release or just releasing it in whatever 1.0 looks like. Obviously with these games they evolve over time anyway, so I feel like it kind of doesn't matter how they release it. I think it's super polished now. A lot of people are like saying like, why is this a technical alpha? Like this feels ready to rock. And I know they said surprise, it's coming out tomorrow. I would definitely be.
It's kind of like what you said though. It needs a little bit more of the wow factor on some of those weapons, but otherwise it seems pretty much ready to go.
I do think there's ways it could improve it. Yeah, that's definitely the case. But even if it takes them some time to get there, that's the kind of stuff that I'm confident they can bolt on over time, because what's here already is really good and plays really good and feels good. So yeah.
Well, thanks, Pat. Where can people find you?
Gosh, that's a good question. I don't use
Blue Sky
Twitter anymore, so you can't find me there. You can definitely find me on the Gaming Fix podcast. I'm on Blue Sky, but you can follow me at Pat C there. But I don't post too often there, and I don't post too often about games, but by all means, you can hit me up there. And then, yeah, I'm in the Gaming Fix podcast, which you can find on your podcast apps. We're perpetually 2 to 3 weeks behind posting the episodes that we record, but we still think
Hell
it's
yeah.
a fun time. So,
All right. Well, thanks a lot. GG, Pat.
yeah, you too.
For more content like this, check out Super GG Radio on all podcast services for weekly conversations about betas, demos, news, and clearing out our backlog. You can also find us on twitch.tv/SuperGGRadio and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you there!